Raise your hand if you had the Toronto Raptors as a 2 seed in the Eastern Conference on November 24th. Liar. You
I'm a liar.
lie.
I'm a liar.
Lie.
I'm a liar.
Stop lying.
But
and you watching this video, stop lying. You didn't. I don't care if you're from
didn't.
Toronto. I don't care if you're a Raptor fan. You didn't. You didn't.
You did not.
That's not a knock on the Raptors. Just no one saw this coming. I don't think anybody saw this coming. They beat the Cleveland Cavaliers for the third time. They sweep the season series already. Let's get to the box score. Brandon Ingram, 37 points on 30 shots and 7 boards. Scotty Barnes, great game, 18 points, 11 rebounds, and 6 assists. Emmanuel Quickly with 11 as far as the Cavs go. Donovan Mitchell, 17 points and 8 assists. Evan Mobley, 14 and 5. Jalen Tyson had 15 points. Kwab, before we get started, RJ Barrett's out for the Raptors. For the Cavaliers, ready for this list? Here we go. You had Dean Wade, Jared Allen, Darius Garland, DeAndre Hunter, Sam Merrill, Craig Porter Jr., and Max Strus out for Cleveland. So Cleveland very shorthanded today. Did put up a good fight. But regardless, I do like what I saw from the Raptors. There was a lot to like, and I would rather talk about that right now. We like talking about the winning teams first. So shout out to Toronto. You know, the good. What I saw at Toronto is I like when they run. I love their game when they run the basketball with Scotty Barnes leading the break. It is a very special type of fast break. You have a 6'7", 6'8", whatever he is, basically point forward, who's quick as heck, a fantastic finisher at the rim, a good distributor of the basketball. You have shooters trailing. The Raptors, when they run, when they get out and run, if they can turn the ball over a little more than they typically do and get out and run, there were sometimes they were running on breaks, running on makes. To me, that's my favorite Raptors team. Now, in the half court, a lot of it was Brandon Ingram. He took 30 shots, like I said. A lot of difficult shots. They went in today, which is why he had the numbers that he had. You know, I wish there would be a little more imagination on the offensive end, but you can see the plan is Brandon Ingram ISO late in shot clock. If he has a mismatch, you give it to him if they're playing man. If not, you know, pick and rolls, get into the paint, drive and kick. They were able to exploit the corner, especially in the first quarter. Mamu, shout out to you, keeping, I want to say the Raptors in the game. It wasn't like it was getting away from them, but the Cavs had an early lead. Mamu comes in, he hits a couple threes, and, you know, brings the Raptors back. They eventually get the lead, and they held the lead for the rest of the game pretty much. You know, I like what I see from the Raptors. Now, defensively, a little inconsistent, but for the most part, I don't think they were bad. I didn't look at them and say, oh, this is a bad Raptors team. They did let up a lot of open threes. They dodged a lot of bullets. Donovan Mitchell and Evan Mobley were quiet nights today. Overall, though, you could see why the Raptors are second right now in the Eastern Conference. I thought it was an impressive showing. I mean, this is the third time they beat the Cavs. Now, for, you know, Cavs fans will kill us. We didn't mention this. Have some point of reference. You know, the Cavs have been relatively unhealthy in these 3 matchups. It's not taking anything away from the Raptors, so you still got to play the games. But for the most part, the Raptors, you know, doing what they have to do, beating a undermanned Cleveland Cavaliers team for the third time this year.
Yeah, I mean, the Raptors won this game very impressively, and it came down to Brandon Ingram being Brandon Ingram. Like, he hit a bunch of tough shots. He looked great throughout the course of the game. He was very aggressive. Like you said, 30 points on 30 shots it's a lot of shots, but some of it came in the flow of game. I felt like he forced a couple here and there, but they were like when you're going in, you really can't complain. I actually watched yesterday because both teams are on back-to-backs. That factors into a lot of reason why some of the Cavs players are out, and also RJ Barrett got hurt last game, and I was watching that game against the Nets. Full disclosure, if you're a new person here, I'm a Nets fan. So I did watch the game in preparation because we were going to cover this game, decided to cover this game. So I did watch that last night's game in preparation for this game. And the game against the Nets, they ran their offense through Brandon Ingram, but it was through the post to kind of allow double teams and then spray out the shooters. And it worked. It worked last night. Tonight, because I think they had Jakob Poeltl. Last game they didn't have him, so they had Mamu was started. So it was a more of a a more open, wide offense in comparison today. So having Jakob Poeltl was more, you could see that Brandon Ingram was actually working more from outside inside. He was hot to start the game. Like he had a bunch of tough threes, all that. Scotty Barnes has always been, to me, one of the more consistent players in terms of being a point forward and a defensive player. Like he creates opportunities for his teammates, especially like you said on the break, and having his his length on the defensive side also helps. I think the one thing that they did that was very impressive on the defensive side, like you could tell they crowded Donovan Mitchell a lot. Like he
Yeah.
didn't get a lot of space to operate. Uh, Late in the game, he tried to like get going as Donovan Mitchell always does. Like he put up a bunch of threes, but at that point we both knew we're like the game is out of hand, it's out of reach.
Yeah.
Like the Raptors have it, they have it in the bag. A lot of like up and down the rosters, a lot of impressive performances. I think like we like to always highlight the quote unquote role players, the key players, like you mentioned, Mamu. I think he had a solid game. Jamal Shed, who we both love.
Jamal Shed. Yeah.
We both, I mean, tough. Just that's the type of player you want as a backup guard. Like, just can come in, make an impact defensively, offensively. Like
But not even a backup, man. They're playing him at the end of games now. Like, I mean, him and Quick were the backcourt. There were good minutes with him and Quick also in the first half where they were running the break. They were like, they scored, I think, 6 straight points on fast breaks with him and Quick leading it, both finishing layups for 6 straight points. He's a good passer. He's just a tough guard. And then he allows Quick to play off the ball, which I think he's better. You know, Emmanuel quickly, he can be on the ball. He can run the pick and roll. He could shoot off the dribble. But Quick spotting up and playing off the ball, to me, that was my favorite version of him on the Knicks. Yeah. So Jamal being a part of the backcourt allows Quick to do so as well.
Yeah, and like you said, Quick off the ball, it's always very like efficient, and having in the starting lineup, like you usually have more ball handling duties with Scotty, allowing Quick to come off the ball. But when you have Jamal Shed, it's just a fun backcourt to have. I guess we'll on the Cavs side, good. I'll say this: solid game by Jalen Tyson. Like again, every time we talk about the Cavs now, I feel like we're like, well, they were hurt.
I mean, it's true, man.
They didn't have their full roster.
Field the whole team. I mean, there are games where half of their rotation's missing, more than half of the rotation's missing.
Yeah,
it's just being honest.
It is what it is. But at what point, like because we do have a lot of Cavs fans that follow us. At what point, as a fan, do you start to get worried about this moving forward, or is it just is it just too early to even like even that be a cause of concern? Because a lot of times anytime we've covered the Cavs, even one thing that has been a detriment to their team moving forward in the playoffs has been injuries. So at what point, like as a fan, are you like, I don't know about this?
Not right now. I mean, the only thing that worries me right now is Darius Garland's toe. That's it, and he has months to heal. So I'm not really worried about that. I mean, if we're in April or late March and Evan Mobley's missing starts because he's banged up and Donovan's missing starts because he's banged up, not because of rest, and Garland's toe still acting up, then I start to worry. But if I'm a Cavaliers fan, I saw what this team could do healthy last year. I'm not worried at all. I'm really not. I'm kind of just like scouting the competition. Like, okay, this year we got to deal with Toronto. Okay, this year we got to deal with Detroit. That's pretty much where I'm at right now if I'm a Cavs fan. Now, you want to win games. Don't get me wrong. You don't want to lose to the Raptors 3 times in the regular season, but at the same time, I would be sitting comfortably like, you know what? If we were healthy, there's no way they would beat us 3 times in a row. If we were healthy, I'm not saying we won all 3, but it would be a different result. And if we catch this team in 7 in the NBA playoffs, I'm confident that we can win 4 out of 7. That's what I would feel if I was a Cavs fan. If I was a Raptors fan, I would also feel the opposite way too. It's like, hey, listen, I know y'all were hurt, but we beat you 3 times, twice on the road. So I think, you can take whatever you want from each game, and it wasn't like the Raptors were fully healthy today either. I mean, R.J. Barrett was missing. R.J. Barrett's somebody who is a good slasher. He's somebody who can hit the 3. He's a streaky 3-point shooter, but he can hit the 3. He's also a playmaker. He's somebody who the Raptors rely on to score the basketball and do things on the offensive end. So the Raptors were also missing one of their better players, and Jacob Portal was missing in one of the games that they won, back to start the season as well. So, injuries are a part of the league. It's a part of the game. I'm not going to penalize the Raptors, sort of say. For the Cavs missing most of the rotation. Now, we can put it into context, but I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, that's why the Raptors won. But if you're a Cavs fan, of course, of course I'd be like, yeah, we were out. Yeah. Like and Raptors fans, to be honest with yourselves, you'd be saying the same thing. I mean, it just is what it is. That's part of basketball. It's part of fandom, and that's part of being objective and logical.
Yeah, but you can, that's the case, but you still got to go out there and play the game. And Raptors came out and played a solid game all
Yeah,
around.
for sure.
There's a reason why they're so high in the standings, and this game we saw a lot of glimpses of that. Do you feel like this Raptors team is going to be a factor in the playoffs, or do you think it's matchup dependent?
I don't know right now. When I think about the teams in the East, I think there's a lot of unproven teams like the Hawks who cooled down a little bit, but I think they'll be there in the playoffs at the end. I think the Magic are starting to get hot. I don't know what their ceiling is yet. The Pistons are the 1 seed right now. I would like to see how they play against better competition. The Cavs are the Cavs. I think the Cavs are still the best team, pound for pound, full roster. And the Knicks, I'll get into it another time, but I'm getting very Fugazi vibes from the Knicks again this year. I was wrong last year, but in the way I don't think I was wrong, I'll explain, but not during this recap.
Not during this recap. Yep.
So for me, it's like I think the East is wide open. I think it's actually more wide open than we thought it was to start the year. I think to start the year, we're like, it's the Knicks and the Cavs, the Knicks and the Cavs. Who's going to be that third team? Now it's kind of like, it could be anybody. I don't know. Like, you can mess around, get the 5 seed, and all of a sudden be in the NBA Finals. Like, again, the Bucks is another team. You have Giannis Antetokounmpo. You get healthy, you get into the playoffs, Giannis drags you to the finals. That's possible.
Yeah.
So for me, if I'm a Raptors fan, I'm very encouraged what I'm seeing, and it's a wide open year in the East. Anything could happen. So to answer your question, yes, but I don't know. Like I'd be lying to you right now if I said that I saw a championship or NBA Finals contender today from the Raptors. Period.
Yeah.
That's just me. Now I think they're a playoff team. I think they're good, but I didn't see anything that was like, wow, that team is special. But again, in the Eastern Conference, you can't say that about anybody.
Yeah, and like you said, they are missing RJ, who at one point was your leading scorer, and also provides them a different look. Like, we said when we were talking about the Raptors before the season started, we were like, we didn't know what their starting lineup like how it would fit in terms of having enough shooting, having enough enough spacing throughout the course of the game, and even watching them last game and then this game, they figure out a way to get their shots. They figure a way to go through their process to get their threes, to get to the rim. They take a lot more mid ranges than a lot of other teams do.
Tough mid range shots too, man.
Yeah.
A lot of tough mid range shots, and they have everyone on that team except for Pirtle and their starting lineup can create. Like Quick can create his own shot. Yep. Scotty can in some type of way. Brandon absolutely can. Yep. And RJ when he's healthy, he can he can get to the rim.
Yeah.
So for me, like you have 4 shot creators. Right there, who can pretty much all shoot the 3 and something. It varies, but can be threats from 3. So it's just very interesting to me. I thought it'd be a little more clogged, and it can be. Yeah. But the way Darko, and shout out to Darko, I think he's coaching his team in a fantastic way. Like if we're running, get the ball to Scotty. If we're in the half court, it's Scotty or Ingram in the post. We're spraying out, or we get somebody in ISO, which I think is probably the most effective way to go if you're the Raptors.
Yeah, and also like your defense has been having the type of defense where you can crowd, having that much length on your wings makes a difference. So it will be like you said. It's gonna be an interesting playoff race. Like you mentioned, all these teams that could be factors, and like that also includes teams like maybe the Heat and even the Bulls.
No, you're right though. Sixers too. Like the Sixers, if Embiid gets healthy, like Paul George has come back, he's looked pretty good. So the East is wide open.
Wide open. So teams like the Raptors, who we thought going to start the season, were like they're gonna be one of those teams nobody's talking about, and they're gonna end up surprising you or doing exactly that.
Yeah. All right, well, the Raptors beat the Cavs 110-99. They sweep the season series 3-0. Kwab will be back. Well, Kwab and I will be back, not just Kwab. We'll be back later tonight recapping Rockets Suns. It just started, so he and I got to bounce and watch that right now. We'll see you later for an episode of The Dime. Peace.